Good morning, my planner friends. I hope that you are doing well and that you are having a great start to a new week. Happy Monday. So I wanted to do a little video. I don't normally get into like all the current trends, and I'm not a real big TikToker, so anything that trends or goes viral on TikTok, I usually don't know about until like way late in the game. And I think this is kind of the same scenario, like the same case, but I did come across just last week. And so again, as always, I am a little late to the game, but I came across this trend and it stopped me in my tracks. I don't normally get into trends, but this one I absolutely had to jump on the ball and get into it. If you have followed my channel for any amount of time, then you may know that pretty much as long as I've had this YouTube channel, that I've been doing planner videos since 2017. I had been in school, was working on my bachelor's degree in psychology, and just through the course of life events, I moved to Florida, I moved back to Georgia. I had to get a second job and was working two jobs. My daughter and my, at the time, almost 2-year-old grandson moved back home from Minnesota, and they have been living with us. And so I had taken a break from working on those, working on pursuing my degree, which a lot of that life played a huge role in that decision. But also, when I first started going to school, I was fortunate. I was able to get a lot of financial aid, which a lot of that has ran out. And without having that financial aid, it's a lot harder to go back to school now, especially when, my apologies, for some reason, my alarm just decided to go off. But anyway, it's a lot harder to get back in school when rent is astronomical. Like our rent in 2020 was $1,200, and now it's over $2,000 a month. Groceries, they're not cheap. The prices have not come down very much. I don't know, but remember, it wasn't that long ago when a dozen of eggs were over $5 for one dozen, when they used to be like 79 cents a dozen. So just a lot of things have played into that. And so I have not been able to get back into the college that I was going to finish working on completing my degree. And that's okay. Sometimes life takes us in a different direction than we think that we're going in. And I'm just trying to readjust this because everything got messed up when my alarm went off there. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, I found this trend and I decided that it was a perfect thing for me, perfect timing. Now I know from all the videos I've been seeing, and since I found about this trend and going down that rabbit hole of looking into it, I think I am late, as always. Most people started this September 1st. Today is September the 15th, and I'm technically just now getting started. But it is called writing your own curriculum, or creating a fall curriculum. And it's just basically like this time of year when everybody goes back to school. There's a change in the air, obviously with the weather, the seasons, the days, there's a shift in the days because our days are shorter. We have less daylight now, more darkness, and with the whole back to school, there was just something that was always seemed so magical and so fun about, getting started back into school. And so since I haven't been able to work on my actual degree, I have dozens of online courses that I have access to. I have an account with Udemy, Udemy. I don't know if you pronounce it Udemy or Udemy. Udemy. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, I have that. Because if you remember back in 2020, during the Great Lockdown, I got my certification as a Zumba instructor, and I have access to tons of CEUs through that. I got some certifications from ISSA. Now, no, I'm not an actual fitness coach. I mean, I have the certifications, but I mean, I'm not at a place right now where I actually practice what I've learned. So I'm, not exactly the person to be anyone's coach, but I like to keep those certifications up because I keep thinking that maybe one day I would like to have that option. I would like to have that opportunity. I loved taking Zumba classes, and I think it would be so fun to teach Zumba classes, but I'm just not at that place right now. But one day I hope to be. And so I still want to keep the certifications current and active, and I would like to take advantage of all the training that I have access to. And I've decided that this is a perfect time to do that. So I created my little syllabus, and I keep it in my little fall planner, but I took the page out just for the sake of making it easier to move around. But first of all, before I get started, I want to give credit where credit is due. I actually wrote their names down here so that I would not forget. Alice Bow on YouTube is the first video that I saw where I learned anything about this whole curriculum and fell in love with it. Now, she give credit to, and every video that I've watched since is giving credit to this young lady from TikTok, Elizabeth Jean, Jean, and she goes by X Parmesan Princess on TikTok, and I will link both of these below. I started following both of them. Their content is amazing, and obviously they give me more ideas and have helped me with thinking of how I'm going to evolve into this idea. Now, Miss Elizabeth Parmesan Princess, she does monthly curriculum, so she breaks her stuff down and does her own little personal curriculum each month. Alice, the video that I saw, she was doing a fall. Since this is my first attempt at doing my own personal curriculum, and I may be a little over ambitious at what I can get accomplished for my first attempt, I'm going to do a seasonal. I'm doing the fall. So mine will last from, which is this week, the week of the 15th in December through September through December 31st. And then depending on how that goes, I may try to do a monthly going into next year, or I may just keep it, kind of quarterly. But anyway, a couple of things that I did to help prepare for this. Alice was saying some things to do. One thing to do to prep is to buy some school supplies, buy some supplies. Actually, the only thing that I bought to kind of get me in this whole fall transition and kind of have this whole learning back to school vibe, I actually just got a fall candle, and it's called Cinnamon Pumpkin, and it smells amazing because I have a ridiculous amount of pens, highlighters, markers, And notebooks. I buy notebooks all the time. And I have a huge stack of notebooks, some of them with just a few pages written in, some of them with none. So I decided I wasn't going to buy any more supplies. The one notebook, I did have one notebook that I bought this year. And I bought it well before, I didn't even buy it for this purpose. I bought it a couple of weeks back. I was in Ollie's, Ollie's, and I found it for $2.99. And I was like, oh, for $2.99, I'm getting that notebook. So I had a new notebook, and I wound up finding out that it's going to make a perfect addition to one of my courses. So that was the only thing. And also Alice said to kind of get you in the whole like back to school mood, it's like every day that you're having your classes, to dress up, do something cute, like if you were going to school, like if you're going to campus or whatever. I work from home, and most of the days I kind of look, like a hobbit just running around here. So I kind of like that idea, and I think I kind of want to incorporate that. So anyway, here are my courses. My first course is an art course. And I want to do, because the thing is the courses have to be something that you're passionate about, something that you want to learn about, something that you want to do, something that, you just kind of make it personal. So I want to do scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking. And for the past 3 years, I have worked those 2 jobs, and I haven't touched my scrapbooks in 3 years. So I want to get back into that. And the other one is creating notebooks and journals. Now, I have this little notebook right here, this little hourly timed planner right here. I did this. This is mine. 3 Husky Press is what I go by on on Amazon. And I have been trying to create my own planners and journals, and I will link this. I have quite a few, but I want to continue doing that. I'm having a lot of fun with that, creating the book covers. I have an account with Canva, Creative Fabrica, and Book Bowl, and I'm just having a lot of fun with this. So it's something I want to keep trying to work on. My second class is reading. I want to read 3 books, listen to 2 audiobooks, and read 3 publications. And here's my list of the books I'm going to read, and the 2 audiobooks I'm going to listen to, and the publications. And what I want to do, the publications are called Morning Brew, Psychology Today, and Dimensions of Wellness. And I just want to read at least 1 article from those publications a week. This is my first book that I'm starting out with reading, and it's called The Body Keeps the Score. And it's kind of a book about brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma. So it's kind of like trauma response and how to heal from it. My next class is business, and I'm going to show you. I have 3 little sub courses that I want to take, and that's Plate by Zumba. And again, because of the Zumba training that I have access to, keeping my certification or my license to teach Zumba active, Plate by Zumba is kind of a nutrition component, and it's just an additional thing that you can, add to your Zumba classes. Plus, it'll help me out personally. Anything that I can do that's going to help me out personally, I'm here for it. And I have, again, I told you I have an account with Udemy, and I have like all of these courses that I have purchased over the years, or even taken free, signed up for free. And I want to take a couple of business ones. One is like how to write a business plan, and one is like a business master class. So those are in here, and I want to take some of those. Now, my next class is PE and science, which is like obviously. That's gonna, my health, fitness, wellness is gonna fall under that. And I have, this is actually an old course book that I had that I just never took the class. I bought the books, I didn't take the class, and it's Essentials of Nutrition and Diet Therapy. And it's like an actual textbook, and comes with the handy dandy workbook. So this is like a legitimate class, an actual class that I was going to take. And then I have just an actual notebook that I'm going to use for taking notes. And so this is going to be like my main actual course that I'm taking. So Essentials of Nutrition and Diet Therapy. I want to do walking and listen to podcasts. That's going to fall under my fitness and wellness, and then create a fitness routine. So that'll be good. And my next class is history. Just want to pick out some things that I want to learn some things about. One is Intro to Criminal Psychology, which is along the lines of, like, since I'm working toward my bachelor's in psychology, on Udemy there's dozens and dozens of psychology classes, and the Intro to Criminal Psychology I think would be fun. And then kind of like, you know, build on that, like thinking of like the history, you know, think of like, you know, serial killers and just different criminals throughout history. So that would be fun. I want to learn about the history of martial arts and the history of Wicca. That's just something I want to study because it's just kind of this own thing, and I don't really know a lot about it, but I'm intrigued. Then I have an elective, which is, I called it Life 101. And under that, I've got cooking and homemaking, because fall is a great time, shifting into the new season is a great time to, like I said, the days are getting shorter. The temperature should be starting to change. I don't know. It's still 85 degrees here today in Georgia. So, but it's a great time. This is a great excuse, a great time to like kind of hone in on my routines, morning routines, nighttime routines, cleaning routines, you know, just like my daily schedule, and just kind of like, you know, update them, reshift them. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just kind of like reset them. Yes, do a routine reset. Budgeting and finance. We want to buy a house, but we haven't been able to because we've had a lot of factors, mainly debt to income ratio has kept us from buying a house for a while. But when our lease ends here at this house, like I said, our rent has gone from $1,200 to over $2,000. We kind of want to not have to stay here because we know when the lease renews, the rent's going up even more. So we're debating, you know, like what are our options? We've been talking to different people, you know, going over different options. But the main thing is I want to like really like restructure my budget and just kind of like see what I can cut and how I can do things differently for the end of this year to get us in a position where whether we're renting, leaving here, renting somewhere else, or whether we are actually able to pull a rabbit out of a hat and buy a house, I just want to help us be more financially set for that. And then I have like the little media list, which is, this is my list of my 3 books I'm going to read. The publications, again, I said I wanted to read at least 1 article a week, and the 2 audiobooks. I have a little list of movies and shows to watch, and this is a little list of some of the journals that I want to create. the podcasts that I want to listen to, like the Shalene Show, Journal Party, and Gary Vaynerchuk. I made some little playlists right here. I have a cleaning playlist, motivational speeches, morning cup of coffee, which is just a great little vibe in the morning for like just kind of like going over my routines, just kind of getting started with the day. A fall 2025 playlist, a chill fall 2025, and a sad girl vibes. Those are great little playlists that sometimes I like to turn on the music. I do work from home, and sometimes I'll turn on the music and just play some music while I'm working. And then this right here is like my AFA continuing education units. These are some of the classes that I want to take. And this right here, like I said, I have access to these training thanks to my Zumba. You know, it falls under my Zumba umbrella of being a Zumba instructor. And I found this first class that I'm going to start with, and it's called Mindful Stress Management. And that is a perfect because it can actually fall under my PE, my wellness, fitness, because managing stress and, you know, that's important to your well-being, your overall physical and mental well-being, your wellness. So that's the one I'm going to start out with. And then I have mindful eating, unplug, just like taking some time out to unplug, nutrition for mental health, and train the brain. So those are some of the classes that I'm going to take for my CEUs, and this is my little curriculum that I've written. And then the notebooks that I have, like I said, I found this notebook and it's so cute, and that's what I'm using actually right now as I'm taking this class, because I do have, you know, I showed you, I have just a regular notebook for this diet and nutrition book, but I bought this one and I'm gonna use it. So I've started right now. Actually, I started over the weekend with the stress management, the mindful stress management. So I started taking some notes. So this will be my notebook for like the PE, science, like my wellness, fitness. And then this is going to be my little business notebook. Again, this is a notebook that I bought. I've never written anything in it except for on the first page. It's Minerva Journaling. This is who I bought the book from. They're not listed anywhere on it, but it's a whole blank notebook, and it's divided up into actual sections because you have like these little pages, like you'll have some blank pages and then a printed page and then more blank pages. So this is what I'm going to use for like my business, like the Play by Zumba notes, writing the business plan, the business classes. This is what I'm going to use for that. And then this right here is a notebook that I bought a while back. I think I bought this last year. And it's a cute notebook, and I never used it until I signed up for Noom. And I did use it for taking notes in my Noom courses. But I only used it up to this point right here. And then the whole rest of this book, pretty much the whole, because look, I used that much and I have this much free. So I'm going to use this for kind of like my collective notebook, and it's just going to be kind of where I write notes with everything else, planning anything else that I need to do. But anyway, so this is my take on creating my own fall curriculum, and I am going to get started on these today. I even, like in my planner, I wrote out what days of the week I'm going to work on each different studies for the classes. And then some things, you know, obviously like reading, working out, listening to playlists. That's going to be every day. So I'm going to get off of this video and go get started with my day. And I hope that you have an amazing day. And if you are doing this, you are doing your fall curriculum, or you do a monthly curriculum, but just if you're writing your own, I would love for you to let me know in the comments below, and I would love to follow your channel and follow along with your curriculum and see what I can learn from you. And I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye.